getting fed. Alright, fella. You're hungry?
Oh. That's a little nibble, like.
Good morning, people. This week's walk's the high level tour of Wastwater. Around 8 to 10 hours, 12.5 miles and 5 Wainwrights. We're getting to that stage with the Wainwright bagging where we've got to do the further away walks now. Was a long drive in, took around 3 hours that. Didn't particularly enjoy driving down the back lane here. As you can see, nice morning. Weather's meant to be okay today. We checked the height of these fells and they're not massive. I think the highest is in the 600, so it says the clouds more on the higher mountains. And you can just see in the background over there, that's where Scarfell Pike is, in the clouds. But our first one, Whin Rigg's on this ridge somewhere up here. And Wastwater's just over there. But yeah, it looks like a good walk, this one. Apparently it's quite boggy and grassy, so we prepare for that. Not long gone 7 o'clock, so we've got here early. But yeah, driving in the dark and for 3 hours wasn't the most enjoyable experience, but we haven't got that many walks left, to be honest. I know, it's running fast, isn't it? It's very deep. Aren't that? Crazy how fast that river's flowing. So we're about to start ascending up to our first Wainwright, up this way. And up and over. And it's a bit further on down here somewhere.
Oh, there's like a bit where the water's like green.
So you can probably see this section coming up, it's quite muddy and steep. We sort of read that it was like this, so I've actually brought a stick for once and it's helped a lot to keep balance. It's quite slippy coming up, and yeah, we're not far off the 500 metres we're getting up to. So we strayed off the path a touch, just trying to get back on it. In that boggy stuff, man, not good that. You can see here, there's what we were following, but apparently we've strayed in it over to the left somewhere, but it's going to join up there in a minute anyway. So we made it back onto the path. We ended up here somewhere. There's water running down the valley. It sort of looks like a path. If you're not careful, you end up straying off the proper one, so just keep an eye on the GPS, but that's just sucked the life out of me, that coming through that grass. There's a few quad tracks as well, so I got a bit confused, but we're back on anyway. And Whin Rigg summit's not far, but over that hill. For the views of the coast. Unreal, man. It was windy at parts today, but didn't say it was this strong. Whin Rigg's got 2 cairns, one here and the other's there. Wainwright had said that when you step next to the cairn you can see Wastwater, so it must be that one, but obviously you gotta go both. But this wind's a lot worse than it was saying. That must have been an over there. So it turns out that was actually a shelter on the Ordnance Survey where it says Cairn, but that must be the official one I've just been on. So Whin Rigg, 535 metres. This is absolutely shocking, this weather. We're just going to have something to eat in the shelter now. We're quite hungry. It's a good job this summer shelter's here. Listen to this wind. Absolutely freezing in the wind, and it was only forecasted at like 25 mile an hour today, and it said in this part of the lakes it wasn't bad on Emwis, but you know, it's never always right, so I've had to throw the coat back on to stay warm, but not great, like, I'm not gonna lie, but at least it's sunny anyway. That could possibly be the summit actually, not too sure which one is the official. He said by walking a few yards, and he said the view of Wastwater comes out, and as you can see, and our next one's over there somewhere. But yeah, anyway, been to both. Just gonna have to keep an eye on this weather. We're blowing everywhere then. Sort of takes you off your feet a bit, the big gusts, it's got to be careful. Nice to get out the wind for 5 minutes. Hands are freezing cold and we've left the gloves in the car. Bit stupid. But we're going to ascend this and then we're back down to floor level to Wasdale. It looks really nice, but that wind will not stop. I'm hoping it dies down soon. Actually see some cows on the summit here.
Some cows.
Hardy cows, yeah?
I think so.
Look like something like black cows. I've never actually seen these up this high. We're just on 600 metres. These cows, mad one that. It's cool. Boss that, isn't it? So this is another one with 2 cairns I can see on the Ordnance Survey. This is 604 metres and apparently there's one just here. So, don't know what one is the actual official summit, but the other one's 609 metres, Illgill Head. We'll head over there and see what that's saying. But if not, that's your summit. Ah, so this is the proper summit. Real one, man. Yes. Illgill Head, 609 metres. You can see the cairn I've just been to in the background. This is the proper one. The wind started to die down a bit, but it's still bad. So that's 2 Wainwrights done. And now we're heading straight down to the bottom of Wasdale, and then we're heading over these ways and across here along there and back down in the distance to the car. Big descent now, 600 metres down, so back to the road level.
Especially in terms of having mountains like everywhere.
yeah, quite a few people on the way up.
I've got my hair tucked in me.
Starting to see a lot of people heading up to Scarfell Pike. It's just actually been out of the clouds, so you might get a good view there at some point. I think they all will. I've only ever been up that route when I've done the 3 Peaks Challenge, actually, a few years ago. And we're heading over in that direction, over there, all the way down the road for a good few miles by the looks of it. Morning, mate. The last time I come up Scarfell from here, that wasn't there, that centre, I don't remember. Unless it's recently been built. So busy down here. Oh my god, there's coaches that bring you up and everything now. Nice that water. So that's where we was this morning, over there. We've come all the way down, round the lake, past the car park. And now we've got a 2.5 mile hike down this road. And this is the road we're parked on, but well further down. And we're ascending on the right to the other 3 Wainwrights later on. You can see Scarfell Pike's finally cleared. Got a nice big cloud behind it, but yeah. The car park was actually shut because it's that busy. It's so popular, man, for obvious reasons. But it looks cool there, man, looks quality. And look how good the weather's turned out.
As in this road?
Yeah, I think I reckon there's 1.4 miles left on the road, and then we turn up to the mountain there. So looking at this route in the GPS, we've come down the road to the point where we need to ascend to the last few mountains, and see if you can see on here. There's my map, if you can see it. For some reason the guys just went direct up there. Don't get me wrong, it looks like it can be done, but we'd normally stay on paths. I'm not one to make up routes, but that's what the route's saying, and otherwise I'm looking and there's an actual path here. It runs absolutely miles away into the mountains, so we're just gonna head up there and just do what the fella's done on his route and see where it takes us. Listen, I wouldn't advise coming this way. We're just using cheap paths, going as a direct route like the route's saying. I should have also downloaded someone's route who's actually done it and not the one off the website, because I think sometimes to get it wrong with the paths, and obviously this direct route's a bit sketchy. Luckily we've got the sticks because you can get through it. I'm never one for direct routes, but it's just one of those days where I looked how far out the way we've got to go and I'm feeling tired and stuff, so I'm happy to just take it one time. And I'm hoping it's just over that ridge, which it looks like on the GPS. And to be fair, it doesn't look that bad once you're out of this fern. A lot of flat grass and rock. Probably be a bit of scrambling, but we'll see in a minute. As you can see, this is how direct it is. Coming through the ferns, joke. We're gonna try and head up there somehow. Weirdly, in certain parts, looks like it's been walked, and people have just went up here directly themselves. Definitely no path on the Ordnance Survey or the GPS. But we're getting there, we're not that far off, about halfway. Not good. I know, it does look like a path, doesn't it? So after this nasty climb, the summit's just beyond them rocks. Just don't follow the direct route that I've done. Just go another way if you're going to follow this route. Absolutely stupid. Mate, I've had to take so long just to stay
alive.
Just to keep it safe, you know what I mean? And wouldn't recommend that. The weird thing is we could see boot marks here and there, so people must have been up there, but no, just don't bother. There was some sketchy moments like where it was not vertical, but I'll put it that way. Middle fell, 582 metres. That was not fun, man. So you can see there's people here. There's this path coming up there from where we parked down here, and as you've just seen, we just go straight up the valley, direct. Stupidity, but we've made it. Don't do that, don't go direct. Oh, that's the third one, and we're heading over that way. I haven't got much more to say on this, to be honest, before we head down. But at least we're back on the path anyway. Some sweet views up here, to be fair. Scarfell, Pike and that in the background. That's where we was this morning, over there. Across that ridge. Down into the valley. But yeah, it's good up here, man. Cars down there in the road somewhere. So our next Wainwright, Seatallan, is up on that. But we've got to head down, and there's a path going through the middle of it. That is shocking, that bog, isn't it? It's our last bit of ascent for the day, to be fair. And we're off over there if we can. That's a nasty bog, that. Jesus. It's very wet.
Everyone comes up with something.
I know.
Wow.
What?
My foot is literally sinking.
Yeah, it's mega steep, innit? Now we're close. Just coming on the summit now. There's a cairn just coming into shot. Wow, some views. See why it's called Seatallan? You see the sea everywhere. Wow, it's amazing up here. Wow, this is unreal, this one. Heavy. Seatallan, 692 metres. Look at this, man, absolutely sick. Seatallan over there in Ireland. Got a little summit shelter there. See the guys chilling behind it. What a spot. Fantastic. Scarfell over there. Scarfell Pike. Unreal, man. Belter. Wow.
Oh, sick,
Got a sweet little summit shelter here as well. Another cairn. Another black cairn. Ah, mate, great up here. Absolutely sick. Belter. One of the best. So we're heading down to our last Wainwright, the 5th of the day, Buckbarrow. And it's basically above the road down there to the left. Our car's parked virtually just below it on the road. Don't know where everyone else is parked who are up here, but we're in just a weird spot in the middle of nowhere. I didn't see many parking spots on the way in, but obviously there must be other places. Very boggy over to the last one, like terrible. Like water shoes here. Walking on water, look at it. That's nasty, that. At least there's not far to go anyway. Just seeing this on the GPS. It's not a Wainwright, it's called Cat Fields. Must be like the fake cat bells, 500 metres. Apparently this is called How. It's cairn. Not a Wainwright, at Buckbarrow's just over there. There's our last one of the day, just a perched on the hill. A little bit of a climb up to finish. Buckbarrow, 423 metres. Last one of the day, 5 Wainwrights boxed. Done. Just come down here then. Nice gradual path down. And that's where we was this morning over there. Across the ridge down to Wastwater. And there's where we went up the side, you can't see, but by the road we went straight up, which was a bit stupid, but we're safe and 5 more in the bag. But it's been a good one. Can't say it's my favourite walk ever, but it's not been too bad. Gotta head down to the car now, not far, literally just above it. Car's just parked on the road just below here, so it shouldn't be long to be honest. You can just see the car here.
Long way down.
Yeah, not far to go, but steep. Right people, high level tour of Wastwater. Let's get to it. So a good reference point to the parking at the start of this walk is Seatallan. So if you search this, the parking is literally just above it. So the route I was following, the guy had originally said park here on the corner. And as you can see, I had a look here and there's a sign saying no parking nowadays, and it's farmers access, so I wouldn't park there. Although a bit further up, you can see this other part of the road here. I noticed on maps, you can get a couple of cars in here. But when I was driving in, there was a couple of camper vans parked there, so I didn't bother with that spec. But I'll show you where I ended up parking. I ended up parking a bit further up the road here. So you could park here next to the ferns. There's enough room to get your car in, depending on the size. But I just went a bit further down here. So my car's really small and I just went up as close to the wall as I could. The road's not really wide enough for 2 cars, so I'd say these are passing points, but you're not causing no problems parking there. You know, as you can see, there's plenty most of the way down to pull your car in if you can get it up tight to the wall. And this road is the road that runs down to Scarfell Pike. There's plenty of spaces to pull your car in. Then you're not going to cause an issue. I left my car there for nearly 9 hours and it was fine. It didn't cause no problems. There's plenty of passing points down that road. It's miles long, so find somewhere off the road that's suitable. Just be sensible and you'll be fine. So yeah, as you can see, started route. The guy said park here, but I parked a bit further down, as you can see. The start, and the route starts on the road and finishes on the road. So the first section of the walk, you pass through a farm. As you can see here, you would have seen on the video where we were petting the sheep, which is quite funny. That farm's got a lot of animals on it and they're all friendly and they're all used to people because they were coming over trying to get fed and we were laughing our heads off. So you pass through that farm and it's just a lot of farmland, but there's paths running through it most of the way, just nice and straightforward. As long as you got your GPS, you should be fine. So we got to this stage here, and this was actually a farm as well. We tried to pass through, and with it being early, his gates were locked, so there was no way of getting out, and his dogs were barking and stuff, so we had to circle back, and there was actually a bit of a path running to the side of his farm, and a gate which we didn't notice in the first place. So that's why we've circled back here, and at this stage we went off route there, and ended up walking across the field, and then here was a fence with barbed wire, so we had to backtrack and go round to get back on path. And then you would have seen me crossing a little bridge and the water running dead fast there. Nice little stream or river. It's quite cool that actually. Before you start making your way up to the first Wainwright. The section from the car just to the first descent's quite long actually. It was a good couple of miles, I'd say. Nice little stroll through a few farms and just straightforward, to be honest. And then yeah, you get onto this section going up to the first Wainwright. The section here going up, I'd advise taking a walking pole. It was quite muddy the day we went. It had been raining the night before and there was a lot of puddles and it was quite slippy. We got to this stage, as you can see here, and we lost the track as I think we went up a quad track. We went off course and then didn't realise I hadn't looked at the GPS for a bit. We hit a bit of grass and it just sucked the life out of us, this part, mate. It was quite boggy, but we could see the path above, and I thought rather than going back towards the path, we just tried to make our way up to this path here, which you can see the black one. We just went off track a bit there, but it's easy done if you're not keeping an eye on a GPS. And yeah, first one of the day, Whin Rigg. So on the Ordnance Survey here, Whin Rigg's saying it's got 2 cairns. So you come to a big cairn, which I thought was the actual summit, 535 metres. But there's an actual summit shelter. We ended up sitting in the summit shelter and eating for a bit because the wind was so bad when we got up there. But Wainwright had said in a book that the summit of Whin Rigg, you take a few strides and you can see Wastwater, which made me wonder whether that was the actual summit, because you stepped off there and you can actually see Wastwater from it. You get a really good view of it, but from the summit there, from this cairn, you'd have to walk quite a bit to get a view. But I'll show you outdoor actives map. They're listing the bigger one as the summit, so if you know, you tell me. But I was thinking it could be the summit shelter, and as you can see, we were just there for a bit, but I'm not too sure on that one. But anyway, good fell actually, and it was nice to get out that wind at that time because it weren't great. Before you head over to Illgill Head, the section running over to it, boggy in parts, and as you can see, there's loads of water. There's a few paths going over there. Not the best, but not too bad either. Just straightforward, nice, easy, straightforward one. And this was another one with 2 cairns, as you can see here, cairn. And I think the official one was here, 609. Again, Outdoor Active's got this listed as the cairn, and it's not listed on that, but I think that was the official, to be honest. But this one was actually bigger, the one around that area. Yeah, as you can see, cairn. Sometimes I get a bit confused with the Ordnance Survey compared to the other maps. The other map's a lot more simplified. Illgill Head, you got good views of Scarfell Pike from there. You would have seen us looking over there, and it was in cloud. But yeah, it's got some nice views, man. You can see all the surrounding mountains before you head down to road level. This section coming down, just a gradual path all the way down. Parts very muddy, not a major, just a straightforward path all the way down. And we've seen a lot of people heading up that path towards Illgill Head from that way. As you can see here, that's the main parking for Scarfell Pike. It was quite funny because when we got to that point, we passed the car park and there was a woman with a sign saying no more parking left, and there was loads of cars coming in. But as you'll know, if you've been up Scarfell from that car park, it's so popular, the National Trust one. And obviously with Scarfell Pike being England's highest mountain, it sort of makes sense. Just see there's your route straight up to Scarfell Pike. But anyway, yeah, you pass that car park before you hit the road again. And you've got quite a long walk down here before you start ascending up to Middle Fell. It was about 2 or 3 miles. You were walking for quite a long time. But you get some fantastic views of Wastwater. Nice flat stroll, to be honest, for quite a long time, but it's interesting. Middle Fell. So this is where the problem arised. So you would have seen me saying on the video that I'd never advised taking a direct route anywhere, but I downloaded this route from the Wainwright 36 Walks website. I wish I would have checked a user's route instead, because going up to Saab wasn't the best idea in the world. We got to this stage and I hadn't checked the route fully the night before, and I got to there and I thought, that can't be right, why are we going straight up directly? So I had to look for other routes, and as you can see on the Ordnance Survey, you've got this one which goes too far out the way, or we could have carried on down the road to here, Greendale, and come back on ourselves. Here's the Outdoor Active map, shows you different paths. But yeah, I looked at going up to the right, but as you can see, look at how far I'd had to have went to come back on myself. We both looked at that situation and thought, that don't look too bad to get up. We both discussed it and said, we don't really take direct route, and I wouldn't advise it myself, but we just thought, we'll just go for it. It's not great going that way, it's a lot of fern. You can see here, there's a river or stream running all the way down. We were trying to stick close to that, as the ferns weren't growing high there, but there were stages where it was like that. It wasn't flat, and if you'd have fell, you'd have been rolling down a mountain, and there was rocks everywhere, and it was just stupid. It was a bad decision, but we were halfway up there and we were thinking turning back wouldn't have been a good idea either, because it got so steep in parts. Yeah, I wouldn't be going that way. Personally, if I was to do it again and to do that route, I'd check people who've done the route before and see what way they've went, but that was just stupid. And looking back on it, it wasn't the best idea, but it got us there, don't get me wrong. So make your own decision on that one, but yeah, Not the best, but it did work, and it eventually got us up there to Middle Fell. Really good cairn, that one, and some fantastic views. Again, Wastwater below, all on surrounding mountains. Actually really enjoyed that one, and after that big climb up the side of the mountain, I was actually happy to see that cairn. It was eventful. And then you make your way over to Seatallan. So this area going over, it's very muddy and boggy in parts, and just past this town here, Greendale town, it was so wet and you were just sinking in there. So make sure you take Gore-Tex footwear. And believe it or not, this part getting up to the cairn, honestly, like, we're not far off finishing the Wainwrights, and that was one of the steepest descents I've done. No words of a lie, there was people in front of us and they had to stop because they were so out of breath, and we ended up overtaking a lot of people. We seen quite a few people ascending that, and they were all stopping for breaks. It's not like anything dangerous, a nice path, but it's just steep, man. We probably about 10 miles deep at that point, and I was struggling at parts. And then Seatallan, I'll zoom out. You could see Arlaman Island, bits of Scotland, as you can see in the distance, all round. Brilliant fell. You would have seen on the video, the views I got were amazing. So clear, and the weather was perfect that day. And it had 2 cairns on it. It had a summit shelter, and then you had the triangulation point, as you can see there. Boss mate. Actually one of my favourite Wainwrights, that by miles. Loved it, loved that one. And then you head down to the last one, which is Buckbarrow. So this area going down, boggy again, really boggy. Some of it was just like the path disappears, not the best. But as you can see, there's loads of water sources around here, so not great. And in the winter, that'd probably be a lot worse. We were laughing at this summer, cat beards, like the fake cat bells. And then we come across this one, Glade Howe, which wasn't a Wainwright, but I did at one point think that was Buckbarrow. I hadn't checked the GPS for a while, and it's a good cairn actually, but it turned out it wasn't. And yeah, here's your last Wainwright, Buckbarrow. You're just literally above the car. You can see the road. You get a nice view of Wastwater. Yeah, you're literally not far off this finish. It was an alright fell. Wasn't my favourite, but it was alright. And this section coming down, you come down rapidly, so bits of it is steep. And this is a nice waterfall on the way down. Nice sight on your way back. I'd actually jumped in the water if I had a pair of swimmers on before you're back to road level and back to the start. So a quick look at the stats. As you can see on the elevation profile, you're going straight up at the start and then right back down to road level before ascending again. 13.8 miles. It took us 8 hours and 37 minutes, although we were only moving for 6 hours and 16 minutes. We did have quite a few breaks on that walk, and it's not the hardest walk, but the section where we were ascending up the side, you know, I don't know if that helped or it hindered us. I'm not too sure, but the time, that was a good time, to be fair, for that amount of mileage. And it felt like we were ascending the side of Middle Fell for ages, because it was so slow with it being a bit dangerous. But all in all, it wasn't too bad. And I'll just show you on the 36 Walks website for reference. This is where he went straight up the side. Yeah, he just went the direct route. And, you know, you can see why people make the mistake. I just downloaded this route for me GPS, and you're not really expecting me going directly up the side of the mountain, but I should have done a bit more research. But I just wanted to show where I went wrong. Yeah, but we were all right in the end. And as you can see, it said 8 to 10 hours and 12.5 miles. We were well within what the website had said. But yeah, if I was to summarise the walk, some of my favourite fells I've done in the Lake District. Wasn't my favourite route, just down to the fact that we went directly up to Middle Fell. So if you're thinking about doing this route, do your research. Don't make the mistake I did. It might have been a bit of a mad day, but we got back safe. Got all the ones we set out to get. And all in all, it was a good day. As always, people, anything relevant to be linked in the description below. And I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.